Hello, welcome all. I'm here. Yeah, hi Kathy. Yeah, I'm alive-ish. A little bit. Kathy, I owe you texts. I'm sorry. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Yes, it's been a bit. It's been a while and I apologize for that. Boy, didn't have all this on my bingo card for this year, but here we are. Here we are. I'm sorry, I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I got sick and I'm feeling rough still, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that.
You do that whenever you travel.
Yeah, it just happens. Hello, hi. Yeah, I have a cold. Sadly, Colin got it first, then I got it, and now my mom has it, which isn't good because she visits my dad, so we're being really careful about that. My mom never gets sick, so this is kind of odd. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. I really apologize that I haven't done much content. Here's the thing, one of the nice things about my job is that I can stop if I need to take care of family stuff, but one of the hard things about my job is I need to keep working because, you know, it's not like a regular job where you can maybe take time off or whatever. So I needed to come back today. I needed to come back. Thank you. My dad, he started in the hospital, then he went to rehab, then he went to hospital, then he went to rehab, then he went to hospital. Now he's in assisted living. It is like all over the place, but he's in a place now that we love. It's fantastic. It's really nice. So we're hoping he can stay there for a while.
Say hi.
Yeah, you want to say hi? Hi. Look who I've got. Guess who turned 13 this week? My mini-me turned 13 this week. And for those Josiah Queen fans, her shirt says Garden in Manhattan. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so are you going to make something? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I've just been with him a lot. It's been hard, but it is what it is. And anybody who has parents going through this stuff, you get it. Can you scroll it, Mike?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Computer fans going crazy.
Okay. Yeah, the thing that I'm happy because we have family here, so there's enough of us to help my dad out, and he'll be able to get the care he needs. Unfortunately, that's not the case for everyone, so I'm thankful for that. Yeah, she's 13. Tomorrow night, big sleepover for 13th. Can you scroll it, please? Okay. All right. So I am going live today. I was supposed to go live with Gina earlier today, but what we planned to use sold out from her store, which is a good thing. So we're pushing that back a couple weeks. But so I'm live now. I was going to go live at 1 then, but then I realized Simon Hurley was going live, so I pushed it back to 4. So I apologize for being all over the place. I know it is much better for me to be on a schedule, but I just can't pull it off. I am teaching Saturday and Sunday for different online events, so I won't be going live this weekend, but I will definitely be going live next week. Hello, welcome. Everybody's saying happy birthday, Lila.
Thank you.
Okay, so today I am using Pinkfresh. A lot of times in my videos and lives, people say they want me to use old products more. That's like everybody's wish, is that I use old products more. And I always try to incorporate some into what I'm using. Like I'll maybe use something new, but then incorporate maybe an older sentiment or an older background. I like to do that. The problem, it sounds nice to say use old product, but it's hard because if I use something old and somebody wants to get it, chances are the company won't have a lot of those in stock because these small businesses can't keep a lot of product on stock. It costs too much money to just have it sit there. So it's hard to say use old product because if people want it, they can't get it. Another thing is the chances of me picking an older product that you already have is pretty slim, you know, so it's a nice theory. That's why I try in my videos and lives to create projects that can be done with a variety of different products. And I talk about different things you can use. But today I'm using almost all, well, actually everything is older product. everything I'm using today is older product. I'm really trying to stick with that more often. Somebody asked about products being made in China, Pinkfresh. A lot of these small businesses do get products made in China, but that is because there are not manufacturers in the US for it, such as dyes. There used to be a dye manufacturer in the US, and they closed last year. Not because they didn't have business, they had way more business than they could keep up with, but it closed for other reasons. So you cannot get dyes made in the US. So they get them made, everybody gets them made in China or so forth. So usually companies will get as much made in the US as they can, and then they will go overseas for other things. So all the stamp companies that I use get their stamps made in the US, but then they get their dyes made overseas. It's just the way it goes. It's a global economy. That's just the way it works. There's not a place to get them made in the US. So somebody had asked about that. I know Pinkfresh said, I saw something where they said they're able to keep their prices the same for a couple months, I think. So that's good to know. But anyway, I'm using older product today, and almost everything I'm using today is on clearance. So they have a clearance sale right now between 50 and 75% off the whole category. So either 50 to 75% off. And Kinnery, who's a wonderful friend of mine, the owner of Pinkfresh, she is giving an exclusive additional 10% off clearance to my viewers. I've got the hiccups. To my viewers. So in the YouTube description below, you'll see at the top, it says the code that you need and how long it's active for. It's J. McGuire, and it's good through the 22nd. But that will give you an additional 10% off their clearance section. So we're talking over 50 to 75% off. And there's a lot in that category. Now, keep in mind, the sooner you shop, the better, because things will probably sell out. But I really appreciate that Pinkfresh does this. It's, you know, they got to clearance things sometimes to make room because, you know, it's part of being a small business. Yeah, some people have been saying, why doesn't somebody else open a dye manufacturing business in the US? It is a really nasty process. I think it's acid. Nobody wants to do it, and it's hard to find workers to do it. So nobody's done it. There just isn't one, and nobody's trying. So we're doing what we can. Okay. Yes, so Pinkfresh, thank you for that.
I do have an image for that.
What? Oh, Mike has an image. There we go. So, no, that's fine. Okay. They have clearance right now between 50 to 75% off. And there's a lot of collections, so where it's like the stamps, dyes, and stencils that all work together. So it's nice that they included all those things in the sale. And then for my viewers, you get an additional 10% off using J. McGuire. Okay, so that's only a 10% off those clearance items. But isn't that awesome? Very generous. Very, very generous. So that information is in the YouTube description below. Also, at the top of my YouTube description, there is a link with the word live in it. It has live capitalized. Please click that link. That is the best way to find anything that I talk about in this video. If you click that link, it'll open to a new page, and at the top will be the information about the sale and the discount code. But then if you scroll down, it'll have thumbnail pictures of everything I use, so it's easier to find things. And as I'm crafting, if I ask Mike to add something to that list, it'll show up there. All you have to do is refresh that page. I was wondering, are companies able to have the dyes made overseas in another country other than China? That's a good question. I think there's another, but there's still the tariffs. So we're still at that issue. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm just trying my best to support the companies because I want them to stick around. A few have closed in the past couple weeks, and I hate to see that happen. So, you know, if you can't shop, that's fine. Help companies by sharing their content, using their products and sharing it on social media. Send them encouraging emails or cards. It's really easy. Those kind of things go a long way too. All right. Yes, you're right. You're right, Nanya. That's very, very right. Okay, so very correct. All of that information's in the description below. Where did I get my blouse? Years ago at Loft. I mean, it is probably 5 years old. It's old. Okay, so before I start, at the bottom of my supply list below, or over in those thumbnails on that other page, if you go down to the bottom, there are some links that say video, and it'll be video and then it has a product name. I linked below any videos that I did using products that are on sale. So if you want to check that out, you can, but I'm going to be using a lot of different things today, and I'll show you some images of some old things that I've done in the past. All right. Okay, so I have 3 or 4 things, cards planned. Christina's here. I've had such a rough month that I actually texted Christina last week, and I'm like, are you in town? Because I need to come see you. But I made it. I made it through okay. Christina, I love you. Christina just sent me a video for me to share on my channel because she knows that I'm struggling to get content, and I will share that soon. I just shared one Kathy Zilski did. So after this, be sure to watch. I just shared a video on my channel that Kathy did. Yeah, Crafty Meraki is one of the companies that just closed. She's got a big heart. I used her products in many videos, and I'm sad that they've decided to close. It's a tough time. It's a tough time. Now, before I start making cards, I did want to show you something that is on sale that I'm not going to use today, but I know a lot of you will be really excited about. If you look at the top of my YouTube description, it'll take you to all the products on sale. But this one is something that I know you all love because when I've used them in the past, everybody really likes it, okay? And these are the washi tapes from Pinkfresh, and there are many on sale, and I've linked to the washi tapes that are on sale in my YouTube description below. And there are other products that coordinate it with it. In the live, you had the whale, you had a retired cover plate. Oh, Karen, you asked about the cover plate that made the tiny little dots. This is it right here. It is from Hero Arts. It's called the confetti, circle confetti die. And I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to ask them if they'll bring it back because it makes all the little dots in all the perfect sizes as accents. I'm going to ask them if they'll bring that back. Yes, Kathy, thank you so much. Your video is fantastic. You need to watch Kathy's video that's on my channel. It just went up. It's really good. Okay, so these washi tapes have been very popular, and there's a bunch on sale right now. So I wanted to show you. This first one is the Whimsical Blooms. Now let me find. So there are also, hold on. Okay, so this is the Whimsical Blooms stamp. So there's a stamp set. There are stencils. Oh, I have the wrong lighting on. Hang on, I've got a big reflection. Just a minute. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. I got to adjust I wondered what was wrong. I have lights that I turn off when I film. Sorry about that. Because they leave a reflection on the desk, and so I forgot to turn them off. Anyway, oh, that's really dark. Why is that dark? Mike.
Did the white balance adjust because of the light?
I just adjusted it and it's not working. No, it looks dark. I'm hoping that'll be okay. Okay, hold on. There, I got it. I did it. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I have a cold and I'm stoned to the bone on cold medicines. You have to forgive me. Okay, this is the Whimsical Bloom. So there's a stamp set, there are stencils that you can use to color it in, and there's a die set. Then there is also the washi that coordinates with it. So let me show you the washi in case you've never seen this. So it's a roll that has like 30 or 40 repetitions on it. And what you do is you just take it and you stick it on to cardstock. I always do white cardstock. Take that little bit off. You just lay it down. And then I like to just cut off the end of my cardstock, and I keep this piece on here so it makes it easier to start it. Is Gina here?
Got the whole crew.
Gina, okay, so Gina and I were gonna go live today, and we decided not to because her product sold so well, which is fantastic. But I'll tell you, I was texting Gina about this. I've been really struggling with creativity lately, and I was looking forward to going live with her because she kind of gets my creativity going. So we got to be sure to reschedule that soon because I was really counting on that. Okay, yes, 40 to 43 repetitions. So I just stuck it down, and then you can use the die to cut it out. Now the die is bigger than my cutting plates. My voice is weird. Gina. We love you, Gina. I fell asleep the other night because I was sick and I missed your live, so I need to go back and watch it because I loved the cards you made with those colorful backgrounds. So this is bigger than the cutting plate, so I'll run it through once and then I'll run it through again to get the other part. So the coordinating dies match the stamps, or they match the washi tape, which is nice. But I know a lot of you like the washi, so you could just get the washi and the coordinating dies, and that'd be, you know, and you can use those if you don't want to use the stamps too. So what happens, run this through. Everybody loves Gina. We love our Gina, don't we? Yeah, her cards in her last video were beautiful. And her embossing folder in her recent kit, that's what we were going to use, man. It's beautiful too. So we'll use it again. So these are your cut pieces then. And look at how it looks like real watercolor. Isn't that great? So anytime you normally would like stamp and color with stencils or color how you want to, you could just instead use the washi tape. So these are the pieces that you get from this one, which is the Whimsical Blooms. Let me show you this one. This one here is the Enchanting Flora. Look at this beautiful image. Isn't that gorgeous? Because I can't watercolor like that. So I appreciate that others can. Or you can use the outline stamp with the stencils and get a look like this. So it's a little bit of a different look, but they use the same dies for both. So I like that you can mix and match different things. So this one is the Enchanted Flora, which is my favorite of these. And then there is, I think this one's Chrysanthemum. And you can see, look at all these different flowers it cuts. So I wanted to show you these. I did a video, a live recently. Maybe if Brianne's here, she can link to it. Can you scroll it? Brianne could link to it. I did a live with the washi tape where I did projects with a lot of these washi tape die cuts. So I decided not to use it today because I've done it in a live recently, but I wanted to let you all know because a lot of you like this washi tape product line, and there are a few on sale big time. So it'll be over 50 to 75% off with the codes below. So this one is a Chrysanthemum, this one's the Enchanted Flora. So again, I'm not using those today, but I wanted to show you that those were available. And there's some others available too. So you can find all of that in the description below. All right, let's see. Hang on. Let's see, other questions before I get going. Yeah, Christina's here, Kathy's here, Christina's here. It's a party. Okay, I was wondering what companies. Oh, I think I named.
Yeah.
Oh, Nikki asked. Oh shoot, Nikki, I'm not sure what it's called. Pinkfresh does have a few stencils and dies that when you stencil it and then cut it out, there's no white outline. I'm not sure what those are called. I'd have to look. I'm not sure if anybody from Pinkfresh is here, but maybe there is somebody here who could answer that for you. I'm not sure. All right, you can go back. Okay, yeah, some of those might be Dawn's painting. Believe it, she does stuff for them. Anyway, this is the older intricate oval cover plate, I believe it is. I've used this many times in videos. It's one of my favorite little backgrounds. I am going to use that to just do a little piercing, and we're going to make a full front shaker card with a floral border. So I'll talk about the floral border in a moment. Patricia, I have in the YouTube description information on how you can get an additional 10% off Pinkfresh clearance items. And the clearance items are between 50 and 75% off. So we're talking big savings, and I'm using a lot of those products today. All right, so here is the intricate oval cover plate. I love this. I've used this many, many times in videos. And this one is on sale. And that's going to be like the inside of my shaker window. I'm just diving in here because, man, I tell ya. Sudafed really messes me up. Okay. Yeah, these are great products. Okay, so then I used off-screen. I started this off-screen. I'll be doing more on-screen, but right now, just to get started, I started this off-screen. Hi, Simon. Before I do that, Maria asked coral inks, not too orange, not too pink. Well, good thing you ask. Here are some that I like. Oops, did I pull out the wrong one? Hold on. Some of my favorite corals are these from Pinkfresh, and then there's a few from Gina K. Let me get the Gina ones out too so you can see those. Because some are a little more red, some are a little more, orange, whatever. Okay, so here we have Coral Reef from Pinkfresh. So that's Coral Reef. It's just like the perfect peach. And then the passion fruit, which is a bit darker. So this kind of comes off as a light red. Then this is Peony, which has a little bit more orange to it. You can see there's a little more orange to that than the Coral Reef. So those are the Pinkfresh. Then I also really like these. These are a little more vibrant, I guess. This is Gina's light carnation. Then you have medium carnation. So you can see that's got a little more pink to it. And then dark carnation, which I often use the dark carnation with the Pinkfresh ones too. So you have Coral Reef, passion fruit, Peony from Pinkfresh. And then these are Gina K, light, medium, and dark carnation. So there you can see some of the corals. Those are the corals that I seem to reach for the most. But there's a lot of great corals out there. Altenew has some good ones too. All right. Okay, so let me tell you about this. This is using, this is the floral border from Pinkfresh, and this is on clearance. All of it's on clearance. So there is a stamp set that has the floral border and lots of sentiments. I'll be using this, a heartfelt thank you, many times today. Then there are stencils that color those images. Then there are there's a die that cuts them out, cuts that border out. Then there's a hot foil plate that coordinates with the stencils and the die. So you can mix and match however you want, right? I did off screen, I did the foil plate. However, if you don't have a foil machine, you could just do the stamp and get a similar look. So let me show you. I don't know if you can see. There is, come on, focus. Focus. There we go. Can you see the gold outline? So I did the foil plate of the floral border with gold foil. So I used my glimmer machine and the floral border hot foil plate. But you could instead just gold heat emboss the stamp. I just wanted, you could do either. Then I used the coordinating stencils to color in the images. So these coordinating stencils line up very easily to color in the different areas. And I did a mix of different colors. I wanted a really bright, colorful background. And then I used the greens for the leaves, but there are 6 stencils in here to color this in. Okay, so this is the floral border. I love that. Yes, I agree. Pinkfresh does a great job with product suites, which is excellent because you can pick and choose which you might want. Like you may want the hot foil plate instead of the stamp or vice versa. And it's nice to have those options. Oh, good. Kathleen is here from Pinkfresh. Hi, Kathleen. So if you have any questions, you can tag Pinkfresh. Okay, so what I did is I did all the flowers in different colors of Pinkfresh ink. Then for the center of the flowers, I'm not sure, can you see there the gold shine and dimension at the center of the flowers? Can you see that? It's like the perfect gold shimmer. It's just gorgeous. That I did with the final stencil from the stencil set. I just lined that up. And then over it, I put Altenew Shimmer Relief Paste in the gold. And then I applied that, and you end up with this beautiful gold shimmer that looks really nice with the outline. So you could use any gold gel paste there. If you don't have a paste, you could just use a gold gel pen in there. But I felt that went really nicely with that outline, the foil outline. Now, I wish you could see it because the foil outline really catches the light nicely in real life. But again, if you don't, lunar paste would be great for that. Lots of different pastes would be great for that. Gold glitter paste, glitter glitz, lots of options. But again, I use the foil plate for the gold outline, but you could use the stamp instead. Okay, so I did the stenciling, did all that, and I used the coordinating die to cut it out. And there we have our floral border. And now you can see this goes very nicely on the front. Oh, if I can get a piece of cardstock out. Oh, Mary, thank you. Thank you. I will. Mary, I will. My mom took them all donuts, the nurses all donuts today. I'll take them lunch next week. How's that? But see how that fits nicely on the front of a card panel. Okay? I love this set. And then I did a bunch of different colors, but you could change up the colors to be whatever you want. Yay. Okay. Now, I thought I would turn this into a full front shaker card without needing any kind of special pocket. Okay, we're gonna make our own today. And I'm winging it from here. Now, I showed you this with the intricate oval. I thought that would be fun to be on the inside instead of just plain white. Have that little bit of texture on the inside. Hope you can see that okay. So I'm gonna trim this background down just a little bit, just a bit. Yeah, I think I'll trim it down a little bit. I mean, we're talking a hair off each side. You can see very little. Just so it gives you'll see why. I'll show you in a moment. So I took a tiny bit off all the sides there. Now, there are products out there. Yeah, this is a simple shaker this is like a no bulk shaker. This is like a shaker for people who don't like shakers. How's that? There are card front shaker, I guess pockets you would call them, that companies sell, but I'm just gonna make mine today using packaging. So this is packaging from I think this was packaging from the stencil set, okay? So this is super thin, and that's perfectly fine for this. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna slide my background into it and put it like right into the corner there. See how this is where the seal is. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how the seal is there? And I put it right into that bottom corner. All right. Then I'm going to trim off the extra, but I'm going to leave like ½ inch, Brianne, you're bad.
Who's Rod?
Brianne calls me Rod because we call each other a ride or die.
Oh, okay.
So that's the Rod. Thank you, Brianne. So it's pushed into the corner here, down here, and this is just hanging off. But see, this just kind of slides in there. Can you see that okay? But I'm going to push it into the corner. Then, let me get some tape. I'm going to seal this all off. One of the things that I find very helpful, I got to make it so you can see this better. Hang on. Hold on. Oof. Okay. Can you see that better? So see the plastic up here that's hanging off, that corner? I'm going to cut diagonally across that corner. So I have it pushed into this bottom here. I'm going to cut this at a little diagonal. So that's just cut right there. You see that there? It's just cut right at diagonal. Then I'm going to fold this over and seal it with some tape. And I'm doing it as tight as I can. I can cut a little bit extra off there. And you want it as tight against it as you can. So what you have here now is the top is open here. You see that? But it's sealed on 3 sides. Then I'm going to fold this side down and seal it. So I'll fold this side down. Cut a little bit of this extra off. So now it's sealed all the way around. Completely sealed all the way around. Christina. Lila. Yeah? Christina just sent you a super chat for your Disney fund for your birthday. Yeah. She said thank you. So it's now sealed on all 4 sides. But remember, this side here that I put tape on, that was not smart. I have to remove that tape now. Let me move that. Just a minute. Sorry. I had a brain fart. There we go. Now this, remember I had this edge was the one where it had the flap. I can open it back up and I'll be able to slide little shaker bits into it. Let me cut some of this extra off. So now that's where the resealable tape is, if you can see that, and I can put shaker bits in here. All right, now when I do, you guys are too much, thank you. When I put shaker bits in a flat shaker like this, I want them to be flat shaker bits. I don't want anything with dimension. So I'm looking for little confettis, or if you don't have that, you can always do little die cuts. Like I just showed this die from Hero Arts that cuts a bunch of circles. So this is silver glitter paper. This is actually, I believe, Pinkfresh silver glitter paper. And you can create your own little confetti to go in there, because that will be flat, right? So you can either do tiny little die cuts, or I'm using, these are Trinity Stamps Shimmer and Shine. These I reach for a lot because they match everything and they're flat. All right, so I'm gonna put some of these in here. Oh, I put a lot, let's see. That's fine. And you can see how they move around. So I can seal that back up by closing that flap, and you can see how they move around. All right, so you wanna make sure that you use something flat in there. I think it's your best option. Yeah, there's many ways you can make these. This one just seems to work really well. Gold would have been nice in there too, but I didn't. All right, Kathy, Lila, yeah. Kathy just sent some super chat for your Disney fun too. She said, thank you, Kathy, you're too much. So now, so this whole front is covered with that recycled packaging. Has anybody ever made a shaker, full front shaker like this? It works really well. So now I have my floral border from Pinkfresh, and I can put it right onto the front, like that. Look at that. Let's press that down, and there you can see the shaker in the middle. You scroll it. Easy peasy. So that's an easy way to make a full front shaker card. And you just use recycled plastic. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. I'm going to put this onto a card base, but I need a sentiment. I didn't plan this part. But I really love the sentiments in here. I really like them a lot. But I think, I don't know. See, this is where you lose me. This is where I overthink everything. I could do always here for you. I kind of like that, like down in this little nook. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, like right there. I think I'll do that. Always here for you. I think that's a good, nice, encouraging sentiment. Oh, you know what's fun? If you're making graduation cards. I did a bunch of graduation cards in a video last year. I should have reshared it now because I did it late last year. Go figure. But I forgot to share it. But one of the fun things you can do is the shaker card I just made, stick a gift card in there too. So when they shake it, that gift card moves around and they can easily lift that flap up to take it out. And you can put a note inside to do that. Does the plastic stick to the front of the card? What do you mean? I'm going to glue this to the front of the card, yeah. I'll do that in just a moment. But first, I want to figure out my sentiment because I'm not really sure. I didn't plan this part, so I got to think about it a little bit. I think I'm going to do this always here for you. Yeah, this is, I've done a video on different ways to do shaker cards. It was a long time ago. Ooh, why is that turned? There we go. That wasn't bad. Try again. Oh, now I've got ink all over my fingers. I did a video on different ways to do shaker cards, and this one's the easiest because you're using recycled materials, and that is super thin. No, this plastic, yes, OP, this is the flimsy plastic. It's like the flimsy plastic that our stamps and dies come in, and it's perfectly fine because I don't have any dimensional doodads floating around in there. If I had something dimensional, you might want to use a stronger clear plastic. So what I used was just the really flimsy plastic that all of our stamps and dies come in, and it works just fine. That's good enough. The reason I use the thin here is because I want it to wrap around the sides really nice. The new Gina K dots would be good too. I don't know what the dots are. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. I'll have to check out what her dots are. Are they kind of like these little confettis? Because I'll have to buy some. I don't think I got those. The shaker bits are from, the ones I use the most are Trinity Stamps Shimmer and Shine. I'll show them to you. The reason I like them is because there are different sizes and they're iridescent, so they match anything you put them with, and they're flat. Oh, Bran's so good. Bran just put up a link in the chat to my no bulk shaker card video. Oh, I just tore it. Oh, she had some. I didn't know that she did. Well, good to know. I tore my sentiment, but I can still use it. I'll glue it back together. All will be fine. Let's see. The clearance products, when they sell out, I think when they sell out, they might be gone forever. That's my guess. That's usually how clearance works, but I'm not sure. Kathleen, I think, is here from Pinkfresh, and maybe she could answer that. Oh, 4 new embellishments at Gina. Oy vey. I was sick, so I fell asleep before her live, and I missed it. Okay. I gotta put this back together. So my sentiment came apart because I'm trying to hurry too much. So I die cut another of the sentiment from white cardstock just so I could glue it back together. Doopy-doo. There we go. Nice. And that, I think that'll look nice right there. Or it could be up here. Or it could be in the center. Really anywhere. But another option, you could leave the sentiment off this one, and then the next time you have an occasion, you can just add it. Having trouble using the code. I tested the code beforehand, so it should work just fine. If you have trouble, tag Kathleen, and hopefully she'll be able to help you. Doobie-doo. Yeah, I say doobie-doo all the time. That's me. I always say doobie-doo. Okay, so this is a top folding white note card that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm putting double-sided tape around it. The reason I'm doing this is the back side of this has that plastic, and so I feel like the double-sided tape is a better option than liquid adhesive.
Can I have this real quick?
Sure. Just bring it back, Missy.
Oh.
She's stealing my rubbing alcohol spray bottle. Offload embellishment. Okay, so removing the release paper here. Now the easiest way, if you ever have trouble lining, like this is about the same size as this. So what I like to do, good, yeah, people are saying that the code works. Okay, good. I'm putting the card with the exposed adhesive into the corner of my, this is a scoreboard, or this corner of your Misty stamping tool. Then I'll take the panel and put that into the corner and then press down. And then I know they'll line up nicely. There we go. Copy and paste the code and it'll work fine. Yeah, a lot of people think the G in my name is a Q, so that might be it. I don't have a Q in my name, it's a G. So look at that, isn't that fun? And there's no bulk to it. It's flat. So you don't have to do any extra postage for that. Yeah. Yeah, it's only the discount is only on the clearance products. You know, I'm not sure I like Always Here For You. Just a minute. I'm overthinking. I might change it because that's what I do. I'm wondering if this would look better. Oh. Kind of like that. Lots of Love kind of fits right there in the middle. I think I like that better. I'll show you what it's from in a moment. I had let me show you. Now I won't have this for my next card, but that's okay. Lots of Love. Let me show you what that's from. That Lots of Love is from this Whimsical Blooms that I showed you earlier that matches that has the washi tape that you can die cut. So I showed you the example before. It has this Lots of Love in it. And this is on clearance too. Everything I've used from Pinkfresh already is on clearance. So over 50% off at least. The shaker card plastic was just recycled plastic from one of my stencil sleeves. Just this thin, inexpensive stuff. All right. Let's see. Now I didn't do a good job white heat embossing here, so I'm just going in with a white gel pen to fix that in. And then I will add this to the front. Okay. Make sure my card's straight, and there you go. Isn't that fun? All right. Yeah, so I did, okay, here's the thing. Let me show you why I changed the sentiments. My white gel pen is, I need my white acrylic pen, but I don't have it here. So I had this sentiment. Hi, Livy. We were talking about you before, Livy. It was all good stuff. So notice here, this sentiment where it's black on white kind of gets lost. However, when I switch to white with the black, it's white heat embossed on black cardstock, it pops out more. See how the always here for you kind of gets lost? But when you alternate and have the black cardstock with the white heat embossing, it pops out more. All right, so this Lots of Love is from the Whimsical Blooms, which also has that washi tape that coordinates. And then everything else is the floral border, except the inside background is the intricate ovals. What adhesive works best on the plastic? Really, double-sided tape is great. I used a tape runner. I find both of them work perfectly fine. Foam tape would work also. Libby, we were in our coaching call with Jessie. There's a bunch of crafters who hired Jessie as their coach to get healthy. And we were talking about purple. And when we talked about purple, Libby's name has to come up because Libby and Brienne are co-founders of the Purple Fan Club. All right, so there you go. Oh, Barb. Thank you, Barb. You all are too nice. All right, so there we have it. Isn't that fun? Now, I will say, let me give you some other ideas, all right, on if you don't have products like this. So I used a product that cut a floral frame, right? So there is that opening, so you could have that shaker movement in there. If you don't have, you know, like this floral frame, like I used here with the opening, just use a background stamp and then maybe die cut an oval window and do the same thing. So it's nice that it's kind of behind there. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Yeah, we had fun. I had to leave the coaching call early to come here. Next time I'm gonna have to space him out a bit more. It was fun. Erica was there. Erica's here now too. Yep. Okay. So there we go. First card. Lots of shine to it, a lot of interest, no bulk. Okay? All right, so that was the first card. First card. And let me see here. There are a lot of floral backgrounds like that that would work really well for that technique that are on clearance. I encourage you to go through the clearance section and look at the different things that they have. All right. Yeah, you can rewind. You can watch it later. In fact, if you're just joining now, just start with me here, and then you can go back and watch the last card because this is new. Addition to, there are some items in clearance currently out of stock that have been reordered, but I don't know which exactly. Okay, so some might be coming back. The floral border frame is on clearance. It's in the YouTube description below. The link to it is down there. I think it's, let me see. Yeah, it's in there. I thought I saw it. Yeah, it's right towards the top of the list, kind of towards the top. All right.
This is clogged. Do you have a pen?
Yep, hang on, right there.
Thank you.
Okay. Next card. This one I planned ahead of time, and we're gonna recreate it. We might change up the colors a bit. So it's a clear card, but notice that the front on the clear has the outline, but when you open it up, you just see the background and it lines up with it. Does that make sense? So it's a little,
Thank you.
has a clear overlay. All right, I love this background. I was excited to see that it's on clearance. All right, so we're gonna recreate this one. This one's really fun to do. Let me just see here. This takes a little bit of thinking, so that's why I prepped it ahead of time. Isn't that fun? And I did purple here. I did purple. Okay, let's see here. First of all, we're gonna start with the clear card. So this is a clear card, and you could just do a clear overlay, but I did the whole card clear. So we're gonna do that first. We need to make that clear card. Now the clear that I used, the acetate that I used is from Simon Says Stamp. I really like their acetate a lot. It's the one that I have linked below. It's a particular one. It is their acetate sheets that are heat resistant acetate, because we're gonna white heat emboss on it. Not all acetate is heat resistant, but I don't wanna keep heat resistant and not heat resistant acetate in my stash because I'll get them mixed up. So I just keep only the Simon Says Stamp heat resistant clear acetate, and it comes in 2 different size packs. It's very heavyweight. It's super heavyweight. It's great for everything, right? I could have used it for my clear, the shaker card that I just did, but really I use it for anytime I need some clear that's strong or heat embossing, okay? Does this card lay flat? After it's been in the envelope for a bit, it will. It kind of opens because I just scored that, but once it's been in the envelope, it'll be fine. Or were you talking about this one? This will flatten to go into an envelope, fine. But I like that you could attach the clear to the inside, but I like that it's separate so you can see it with the outline and without the outline when you open it. See the difference? Can you scroll? Okay, so this is a full sheet of heat resistant acetate, and then there's this piece here that is like just the divider sheet, the protector sheet. I'm just keeping that protector sheet on there for now, and then I'll take a bone folder. So this is 8.5 by 11. I'm going to just fold this. I find with acetate you don't really need to score it because it really doesn't do a whole lot of good. I'm just making sure the 2 edges line up over here, and I hold it, and then I start pressing down to create a fold on that. So I'm folding it kind of like a hot dog. See? So I have a folded piece of acetate, and then I can cut that in half. Linda, I'll answer that in just a moment. So then I'm going to cut this at 5.5. So I have 2 side folding note cards that are 4.25 by 5.5 inches. I will use one now, and I'll save one for later. Linda asked, how do you die cut heavy acetate? I'll show you. I will show you right now. I'll use this piece of acetate here. So this is super heavyweight. The Simon Says Stamp is super heavyweight, which I love, but it can be tricky to die cut. But there's just one trick, and once you do it, you're good to go. So you will take, let me get a scrap here. Is that big enough? Yeah. The trick to die cutting heavyweight acetate is you take your die, cutting edge down, put your acetate on it, on the back side, but instead of cutting like that, you put behind that a scrap piece of cardstock. So I have scrap paper, scrap cardstock, acetate, die, and then I run it through. By putting that scrap paper on the back side of the acetate, it will force it to cut all the way through. Erica, you are the fam. Come on now, you know that. And there you go. Oh, it didn't cut all the way through. It usually does. Let me do that again. Usually will cut all the way through. Maybe do I have double sheet here? May have to run it through twice, but that should cut through it. I've done this a million times in videos and it cuts through. Brianne just linked to a video where I show a bunch of clear card designs. All right, there we go. It's starting to cut through. I probably have to run it through one more time, but there you can see it's starting to cut through. Usually that will work. That's the trick. The other thing you can do is put a shim in there. I think my cutting plate or my magnetic shim is flattening, or my magnetic plate. So I probably need to add a shim in there and that would do it. Yeah, use a shim. All right, okay, so now let's go back to my card. I do not sharpen my trimmers. The Tim Holtz trimmer is self-sharpening, so I just use it, and I've used the same one for a very long time. Okay, hold on. Now, I will start by white heat embossing on the acetate. So we're going to do the acetate card first. Would the acetate be too heavy to use? Yeah, Kathy, I wouldn't use that acetate in my Better Press because it's so thick. If you want to protect your Better Press platform, I would use thin plastic, like what your stamps and dies come in. Definitely recycled material for that. All right, so this is a Misty stamping tool. In the corner I have, this is just a corner from, I think they're called alignment guides from Altenew. And it's just going to help me find a place where I can line the corner of my card each time. Deborah, I cut into my magnetic plate with the Empress. You can either cut into it or not cut into it. You can either cut into the magnet or the clear plate. It's up to you. I think in the packaging it says to cut in the clear, but when Anna Griffin, I've heard that when she demonstrates it, she cuts into the magnetic plate. So, okay. So I've got this little corner here. What I'm going to do is take my acetate card and put that right into the corner. And then I've got to use some tape here because I want to keep this flat. I'm just putting tape in the corners. I didn't really put a whole lot there. There we go. So I have that lined up in the corner. So it's lined up right into this corner, okay? Then, put this down here. It moved, hang on. Then I will take my stamp. This is the, Blooming Peony. This is Blooming Peony from Pinkfresh, and it is on sale. So I'm going to line that up on top. Sorry, my head gets in the way. So it's on top of that clear. I'll close this so you can see my clear card is in there. Now, here is the trick to heat embossing on acetate. Anti-static powder tool. Look at how much I'm using. I'm using quite a bit. I'm kind of pouncing it all over. I want a good layer of that on there. Okay? This will give us better results. Then ink it up with clear embossing ink, whatever your favorite clear embossing ink is. And we're going to white heat emboss on this acetate. Now, I'm going to tell you, sometimes it doesn't work great, okay? This is one of those that you're going to have to get a little practice with. But after you've done it a few times, you should have no problem. There you go. Tamara said, Anna Griffin has said that the magnetic plate is meant to be cut into. There you go. Now, I am leaving that stamp and, oh, there is plastic on there. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I had a piece of plastic on there, so my stamp image won't be complete, but thank you for pointing that out, but I missed it. It's too late. It'll just be missing a part, that's okay. So I have my stamped image here. Now, I will take my white embossing powder and sprinkle it on, and you will notice that it sometimes wants to stick everywhere. Not just on this where your stamping is, but the static, like the static on the acetate will want it to stick everywhere. See, there's a lot. Can you see there's a lot down there? What you do is you flick it from behind. Now, normally you don't flick this hard, like if you're doing this on cardstock, but on acetate, that's how you get all the extra off. Now, I do have a little bit on the corners. That's because, remember I put tape there? So the tape left a little sticky residue. So my embossing powder is kind of sticking that. So I just wipe that off. But you can see everything else looks nice. Okay? The other trick, so one trick is to really flick the back of it to knock off the excess. The other trick is to let your heat gun warm up for a while. Hang on. I got a little mess right here. I think that's where that plastic was. I'll just kind of clean that up. It's okay. So you want your heat gun to get warm. You could use white, okay, if you can't use white pigment ink here because it won't dry on the acetate. You could use white Stays-On ink. Yep, you could use white Stays-On ink if you prefer. You could use any color of the heat embossing that you want here. Gold or silver would be pretty, but I went for white so it would have this bright outline. So if you wanted to do a shaker card, like the shaker card I just did, if you wanted to white heat emboss on that shaker window, you would need to use a heat resistant acetate like this one. Anytime you want a heat set on it, use this. And somebody did ask before, I forgot to answer, you can use the heat resistant acetate to foil. So you can foil on this using your glimmer machine. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? This is the Wow heat gun. It has 2 settings. For 25 years, I used the Wagner heat gun that Hero Art sold, and they stopped making it, and I broke mine. So I switched to the Wow, and I'm liking it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Isn't that pretty? So you could do a very simple card, like put a solid color note card in there. I mean, it's just a beautiful overlay. Isn't that gorgeous? And also, if you don't have heat resistant acetate or don't want that look, you could also do vellum. So you could do this card with vellum. Just be sure to use darker colors on the inside so it shows through the vellum a little bit more. How did it break? I was packing for a crafting retreat and I broke like the plastic on the side. I dropped it. I had dropped that thing so many times, but that time it didn't survive. Okay, so there is our note card. So I heat embossed on the front. Brianne just put a link to my foiling playlist so you can see some of my foiling videos. Okay, now remember this stamp is still in position, okay? So I will take, Lisa, they came out with a different version of the Wagner that has like a turn on it, looks like it's bent. And I didn't have as much luck with that one. So I switched to this one, but I could try it. It's a different design. Yeah, Libby said it's a different design. So last time I put my acetate note card in this little nook here, this little corner. Now I'm putting just a piece of white cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So my note card was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this white cardstock here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm stamping that same image with a really, really light ink. This is Misty Coast from Pinkfresh. And it doesn't matter how well I stamp this, I just want to be able to see it enough to line up stencils with it in a moment. But I'm just going to stamp it quickly. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's hard to see, but I can see it. I can see the outline so that I can line my stencils up. But the trick is now this image, this floral image is stamped in the exact same place on the front of this and on the white card, white panel. So it's stamped in the exact same place. All right. Now we can do some stenciling, and I can try to answer some questions while I stencil. Again, this is the, what's it called? Blooming Peony. I really like this, and you'll see why in a moment. I really like this set. Blooming Peony, and it's on clearance, and there is a stamp and a stencil set. So you saw the stamp, now let's do the stencil set. What I like about the stencil set is the stencils allow you to color everything, including the background. So notice my background here is a dark blue and my flowers are lighter. I love when there are stencil sets that allow you to color the whole cardstock. So this cardstock background started as white, okay? But I added all that color. So this is one of those where, can you see it there? The background is one of the stencils. Okay, there is no sticky mat in my Misty here because this is a cling stamp. And when you use a cling stamp, you don't need a mat in there. Okay, so let's see here. Now, remember I stamped with really light ink, so I can use that light ink to line up my stencil on here. Happens that I got it centered just right. So I'll put that on there. And now I know my stenciling on this piece will line up with the outline that we heat embossed on here. Okay, should we vote? Let's vote. On here I did a purple flower, white flowers, and then like a turquoise background. I also added some silver. What color flowers and background should I do? Just instead of voting, just throw some ideas out there. Let's do the flower. What color flower should I do? Here, Mike, let's do a vote. Let's do a vote for a flower. For the flower on here, should I do the purple flower?
Hold on, no, I'm getting there.
Oh, Mike's gonna put a vote in the chat, so you can vote in just a moment. Purple flower, pink flower, or coral flower. I will tell you, so Mike's gonna put a poll in the chat. So it'll pop up here in a moment and you can go ahead and vote. I will tell you for this flower here, if you're interested in this flower, I used soft lilac for the lightest purple, candy violet for this like purpley pink, which is one of my favorite colors of Pinkfresh, and then the darkest purple, which is Regal Kiss. So if you were looking for that. All right, so you can vote up there. What color flower should I do? Purple, pink, or coral? Okay, well, we have a popular answer there. You can vote, but it looks like it's going to be coral. So we'll do that.
That was my choice.
Was your choice? All right. So I'm going to do coral for the flower. What color background do you want then? So I'm going to have these white flowers, big coral flower. What color background? Should I do like a royal blue?
No.
Okay, end that poll.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm too fast for him. Should the background be like a royal blue, a teal, or black? Let me know what you think. Or silver. There's 4 options. Have fun at the party. Be good, okay? Lila's going to a birthday party tonight. All right, so Mike's going to put up a vote for what color on the background. So royal blue, teal, black, or silver. So go ahead and vote on that, because I'm going to start with that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
Is it silver?
What is it?
I don't know.
Everybody's saying the same thing.
Teal. Oh.
Teal. All right. I can do it. Brianne, what did he say that you're plotting against him? No, Jessie. She said she's plotting something against him. Okay, so you guys voted teal for the background. So like a bluish teal. So this stencil will do the background. So I'm going to start with waterfall because it's my favorite color. I may end up going darker. So this is waterfall. It is the perfect blue. Ugh. If you don't have waterfall, you need waterfall. And what's funny is Spellbinders came out with a cardstock called Waterfall that matches. I will talk about the silver in just a moment because I might incorporate it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a little silver on it too. So this is Waterfall, which is the perfect, like, blue. It's more blue than teal, I guess, but it's just wonderful. If you want a cardstock to match, Spellbinders Waterfall matches it. I'm using my favorite blending brushes. These are the Pinkfresh 1-inch brushes. I also call them magic brushes because they blend so well. Anybody out there have these? Because I know everybody will agree. They're the best. So I did waterfall there. Now that would be a beautiful background, but I like, I could go darker. Let's do darker around the edges. How's that? So I'm coming in with Paradise, which is a little bit darker than Waterfall, and I'm going to put that on the edges. I don't know, we'll see. For this one, I just did waterfall, or paradise on the whole background. Because I like the idea of a dark background with bright colors, or light colors on flowers on top. I put quite a bit down, but that's okay. So there we go. Let me show you what that looks like. Oh, sissy squats, never do sissy squats. All right, did she take, oh, here it is. So see how bright that is? So the rest of the stencils will color in everything that's white there. So you get an entire covered panel. A lot of times when you use layering stencil, there's still some white exposed. Yes, I do plan to do that. I do plan to do swatching that shows what color inks match the Spellbinders cardstock. I will do that soon because I need to know it too. I just haven't done it yet. Now, I'm going to leave that as is. I might add some silver, so the person who asked about silver, I'll come back to it. Now let's do the flower. So we decided coral. So this first stencil, wait, that's not right. Am I missing one? Don't say I'm missing one. That's 4. Hold on. These are numbered 6. There's a lot of them. I think I'm missing one. 3. Oh no, don't say I am. 7. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 5, yeah. Where'd it go? That is 4. Hold on. I know, I'm old and I can't find things. I am missing one. Where is it? Mike. Here it is. I found it. All is right in the world. Stencil number 2. This will do the light. Oh gosh, I'm telling you. I have been on the struggle bus, y'all. Oh my gosh. It's been bad. Poor Gina and Jesse both have had to hear it this week because I cannot. You know, sometimes you lose your creativity. Mine is like, has left the building for a couple months now, and when it's your job, it's frightening. I lose sleep over that. But I feel like lives are my way back into it because it helps to have you all here. Okay, so that was stencil number 2. I did Coral Reef. Looks like Jennifer needs a black inkstand. I do need a black inkstand. I need them, but when I went to order them, they were sold out. Brienne, are they back in stock? I want one in all the different sizes. This is the inkstand over here. I use it every video. She now makes them in black, which I need because mine are well loved. Brienne is the creator, and she holds the patent on it. She is our link ninja here. So whenever I talk about Brienne finding links, she is also the inventor of the inkstand. I don't know if you all, yes, stress does, who said that? Alana, I agree. Stress causes brain fog. For many, many reasons, these last couple months have just been. If you're in my Share Handmade Kindness Facebook group, you saw me do a closet craft chat. Oh, I want to go darker, where I cried in it. Life can be tough, but I feel like if you talk about it, then others don't feel as alone. Look how beautiful that is. I think I'm a big, see, here's the thing. I am all for social media. Well, the good side of social media, because there's a lot of positive things on there. Like my social media feed is very positive because I follow dogs and stuff like that, exercise. It's what the algorithm feeds you, right? But I also feel like sometimes people only share the good on social media, and I think it's important to show the struggles too. And right now, I'm on the biggest struggle bus. But it's okay. I've got friends and I've got crafting. Okay, so look at that coral flower. I mean, come on. So that was, somebody asked about corals earlier. That was Coral Reef, Passion Fruit, and Berrylicious. So good. My tip with finding the right coral is go for corals that the darkest shade in the family is a red, like that Berrylicious, because then it's not too orange or too pink. because really a good coral is like a light red. Oh, to Kathy, thank you. I know. People always, my eyes, some reason turn like look like they're bright blue and I cry. Anyway, trust me. What's out of stock? Something's out of stock? Yeah, nobody cries alone. Yeah, that's Christina Werner. She's the one who, if she sees somebody cry, she cries too. Okay, I'm not done with those yet. Let's see here. Now, let's do these flowers here. Now, this is the cool thing. I don't know about you, but I love to have white flowers on my cards. But it's hard to do white, right? Because usually your background's white. Well, with this, you can do white flowers because your background is blue because we stenciled with blue. I'm using my magnets. These are from Glassboard Studios. I work on a magnetic work surface. It is the magnetic glass work surface from Glassboard Studios. I have a discount code below if you're interested. And these magnets work on them. Well, they work directly. Oh my gosh, why is everything going so fast?
Oh wait, sorry. Ignore that.
Okay. Oh dear, what's going on? But they also work through your sticky mat. So if you really want to make sure something's not going to move, that's a nice little trick for you. So I want these flowers to be white, but I want a little depth at the center. So I'm using the Lemon Whip, which is a really light yellow, and just putting that at the center of the flowers. Only at the center. I'm using one of my Altenew tiny blending brushes and putting that just at the center. There we go. And then at the center of the flower, I'm going to do gold. If I can find it. Here it is. This is Lisa Horton Gold Metallic Ink. It comes in a set with gold, silver, and bronze. And I'm using the gold here. I have it linked in the YouTube description below. It's a great silver metallic ink set. So I did gold at the center there. What did I do in there? Can't remember what I did in the... Wait. So there's a little gold shine at the center. And you can see there's a little yellow highlight, but the flower is still pretty white. That yellow will also settle down. Okay, next, this back to this to do the center of these flowers. Lemon Whip is a great yellow. If you want like a soft, perfect yellow, light perfect yellow, Lemon Whip is a good choice. I'll show you a little swatch of it here in a second. So I did gold at the center of those two. Lemon Whip. Let me show you Lemon Whip. It's very light. It's just perfect yellow. And if you want slightly darker, go for Sunshine. Those are Pinkfresh colors. Let me tell you, you're not alone on the struggle bus. Lori, big hugs. You know, how about this? Since so many of us are on the struggle bus, let's put a trailer on the back of the struggle bus. And in that trailer will be all our crafting supplies. So it's a crafting struggle bus. Anybody else want to join? Somebody's going to want to join. Come on, don't let me be alone. All right, so this is Key Lime, my most used green. Oh, what brush? Oh, somebody asked. This brush that I used here. When I use pigment inks, I use the sponge applicator. I find that better than the brushes for pigment inks. This handle here, a crafter sent me. Her husband had made it years and years ago. But it uses the foam from the Tim Holtz mini ink blending tool. Okay, so I did key lime over that with my big brush, and you can see how fast that ink goes down. That's the other reason I like these 1-inch brushes from Pinkfresh, is because they are fast at applying even ink without like harsh edges. Yes. See? Sylvia, everybody's gonna have a window seat. It's gonna be the world's biggest struggle bus. We'll all have window seats. For the introverts, we'll have an area where you can be quiet for quiet time. It will serve wine, coffee if you prefer. And on the trailer will be all of our crafty stuff. Wouldn't that be fun? Look at that. So I did key lime, but then I also did a bit of Emerald City, which doesn't really go with it. Key lime is more green, Emerald City's got a little more blue to it, but when you blend them together, it's perfectly fine. Then the next one is leaves. I'm taking too long to do this. Go figure. Some of these are the centers, which I'll do heavy on the Emerald City. So those are the center of the leaves we just did. And then the others are new leaves, which I'll do with a very light green. Isn't that a good idea? And you know what? We'll go from craft store to craft store. There's not many left, but we'll hit all the ones we can. We'll go to Christopher Allen's store in Pennsylvania because it is fun. Where else do we go? Who else has got a storefront? Now this is Fresh Pear, which is going to be a much lighter green. Thought it'd be nice to have some light foliage in there too. Doesn't it sound like paradise? Maybe we'll stop at a cottage in the mountains, something like that to craft in. There'll be no cleaning though. We will bring people to clean, we'll bring our, I don't know. There'll be a robot that does the cleaning. We need somebody to clean because we don't want to clean our craft supplies. Okay, so I just did a little key lime at the base, just for a little, and look at this. I mean, come on. Yeah, we need a big struggle. Look at that. That's all stencils. It started white. Come on. Butterfly Reflections, yes. She is great. We got to stop there too. Okay, so this is the, gosh, I forgot already. Blooming Peony. So you can do the background or the stencils without the stamp, the hiccups again. Or you can do the stamp on top of it too. So you can do it, the stencils with the stamp or without. This is with no outline, without the stamp. And look how beautiful that is. I love it. Now this will line up in here. I'm going to trim it down a bit, but see how it lines up with the white outline. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't that amazing? I love stencil sets like this. Pinkfresh has a few like this where the stencil that makes the background is included. This is my favorite of theirs. It is, and it's on clearance. This is like over 50% off. I think I'm going to trim it down more than that. Yeah, I'm going to trim it down more than that. Christina Werner also has some stencils like this, where after you've done all the stencils, the entire piece is covered. And what's nice about it is it gives you a chance to have lighter flowers with a darker background. Oh, I forgot. There was one more thing I was going to do. I may regret this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Okay. I'm going to go back to the background stencil. I could use silver. I did gold at the center, but I'm going to use silver. What the heck? Silver and gold go together. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here it is. Silver. This is the silver pigment ink. I told you I used the gold before, and it's a set from Lisa Horton of metallic inks that is gold, silver, and then there's like a bronze in it. I use the gold and silver often, and there are reinkers available. So I use the gold at the center of the flowers. I'm going to come in with the silver and just put like a little bit here and there, like a little halo. This is going to be really subtle, but it'll put this shimmer. Oh, yeah. It puts like a little bit of a shimmer on things. So I'm just kind of going, so it's going to end up with like a little halo around some of the edges. Not the whole thing. I don't want to cover up the blue. You could also use the interference inks here, whatever you want. But I thought this would be, yeah. Again, this is not going to be real evident in the video, but it's going to be pretty in real life. Okay, oh yeah. Okay, let's see if you can see it. Can you see that silver? No, you can't. Man, there is like a silver shine, just a little shimmer on the edges of all the flowers and leaves over the blue. Gosh, I wish you could see it. Dang it. It's so pretty in real life. Mike, tell them how pretty it is.
It's pretty.
Thank you. So you could do heavier if you wanted, but I just wanted a little shimmer. All right. So this is the Blooming Peony. Definitely good. Yeah, Christina Werner has some stencil sets that color the whole panel too. Hers are also nice because you can do, her stencils are bigger, so you could do 5 by 7. Here's a piece. Or do 2 A2 panels at once. All right, I have a side folding white note card here that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to put it right up in the corner, and I'm going to trim some off. I think I need to trim some more. Let me see. It's good enough. Good enough. Oh, good. You can see the silver a little bit. It's beautiful. It's just it's a little shimmer. I could have done gold, but on top of the blue, I felt like, oh, it's just so pretty. You can see it most here. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Okay, so now this can get glued in here and lined up. Isn't that fun? I need to trim a little bit off here. How I did. Hang on. Okay, now this goes on the inside. And there's adhesive on the back of that note card, and I'm gonna line it up with the outline on the front, and then close it. Oop, it shifted. So line up the outline, and then close it down. There we go. And now see how the outline lines up with the inking on the inside. Isn't that fun? So that's how it opens. Now you can put I will off screen put another piece of white cardstock on the back so you don't see that adhesive through. But I love this flap and how it just, that heat embossing kind of floats over it. All right, next, the only product I used today from Pinkfresh, the only dyes that I used today that are not on sale are the ones I'm about to use. Because I love these. I don't even remember what they're called. They're ovals. We have, these are not, so the Peony is on sale, but these nested elongated ovals, that's what this is, and there's a bunch of ovals of different sizes. And then these are the, they have the same name in here. Okay, something's wrong in here, Mike. Oh. Let me see, what are those called?
What are you looking for?
The ovals, they're both named the same thing, and they're not. Hold on.
One is just ovals, and the other is blanket stitched.
Oh.
Ovals, blanket.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, it was right. So these are the blanket stitch. They do this little hash edge. See the... Come on. This is the part I usually edit out of my videos. Come on. I need a piece of cardstock. Just a second. Here we go. This is the blanket stitch ovals. So these coordinate, these two different sets coordinate together. So there's the nested elongated ovals, which are the solid ones, and then the blanket stitch ones. And there's a few other options. And there's several sizes, they're nesting, so there's several sizes that come together. I chose 2 that work together. And what I did is I first cut the solid oval, and then around that I cut the blanket stitch one, and you end up with frames. You see that frame with the stitching on it? So I'm gonna put one on the inside. So I cut those off screen to save some time. So I just use the 2 together. I'm gonna create like a frame around my flower, just to draw attention to it. And I glued that on the inside. Then these are a few stacked. So I die cut 3 of them and glued them together. So I'll put adhesive on the back of that. And this gets glued on the front, lining it up with the one on the inside. And it just gives a focal point. You could skip that if you want to, but it just draws your eye in towards that flower. Now, the sentiment I was going to use, I used earlier. Okay, so I did the Lots of Love white heat embossed on black cardstock, and I just placed it right over the frame there. So I used it on this card, but that's what I'll go and add on to that. But you could really use any sentiment that you want there. But by doing black cardstock with white heat embossing, it'll pop more. Yeah, these are the blanket stitch ovals and then the regular ovals. They're both are linked in the YouTube description below. Okay, isn't that fun? You could do this again out of vellum, but I love how it just kind of floats. So you see it with the outline and without the outline. Isn't that fun? I often use my acetate to make clear cards that I forget sometimes you can use it for overlays like this. So there you go. So that's the Blooming Peony. And this will kind of flatten once it's in the envelope for a bit, that little, the fold there, and it'll lay flatter. But really it's kind of nice because when it stands, see how it, you get this like dimension to it. I love it. Okay, how are we all doing? What's on sale? Everything on these cards are on sale except for those oval dies. If you look in the YouTube description below, towards the top, it'll say the clearance section at Pinkfresh. And it's all 50 to 75% off, but if you use my code, which is down there, you get another 10% off, just the clearance stuff. So it's a great way to save. I encourage you just to dig through there because there are a lot of different things on sale. Before I move on to my next card, I wanted to show you some cards I've done in the past with products that are on sale, okay? Let's see here. Let me find something. Mike, do I have a Fancy Rose sample? Is there one called Fancy Rose?
There's Botanical Bunch, Pink Glorious Day, Pink Thanks, Pink Hello.
I thought I did. Oh, I forgot to send it to you. I'll send it to you right now. Can you add it?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta send a picture to Mike. So I used this in a video in the past. This is Fancy Rose Bunch. Oh, sorry. Fancy Rose Bunch. There's a stamp, coordinating stencils, and a coordinating die. And it creates this beautiful large floral image that fits nicely onto an A2 card. And thankfully you have the stencils that make it easy to color that in. So can you see how pretty that is? Now I did a video using this set. Mike's going to show us the card here once he loads it. And if you look at my supply list below, at the bottom it'll say in capital letters video, and then next to it it'll say Fancy Rose Bunch. And you can watch the video on how I made a card with this. So if you're looking for additional things that are on sale, because this is all over 50% off, I have examples for it. There you go. So that is the Fancy Rose Bunch. I linked the video below. On that one, I did a little window. So I used a larger heart to cut a window on the front of the flowers and card. And then I have a smaller heart floating there at the center that's connected with that sentiment. So that is the Fancy Rose Bunch. Yeah, Pinkfresh is a good company. Very good company. I've mentioned this before, that last year something happened in our industry with affiliate stuff, which is how we all make our living doing this. And Kinnery from Pinkfresh and Nina from Waffle Flower were the two that really banded together to help everybody figure it out, because it's important for them too. Affiliate linking helps them because it is a form of advertising that will directly help them. So I really am thankful for them, because a lot of us were worried that we wouldn't be able to do this anymore. So I'm very thankful for that. Mike, Nancy said the floral border stencil doesn't link up. Does that mean it's out of stock? Can you check that link?
Yeah.
He's going to check that link. Okay, this is Botanical Bunch. So this is a large floral image. You can see it fits nice in the front of a card. Then there's the coloring stencils. And then there is the coordinating die. Now I use this in a live, and I just told Mike to do something else, but when you get a second, can you put up the Botanical Bunch? There are two of them that I have, two examples. I have the video link below. That example there, I use the stencils without the outline stamp. So stencils alone. Okay, then I use the coordinating die, and I actually in that video made it so that that big floral bouquet pops up off the card. So be sure to check out the video, it's linked below. And then the second one, little different feel to it, that one has the outline stamp with it. So I like that Pinkfresh often has stencils that can be used with or without the stamp, which allows you to get more use out of your products. Somebody's texting me. I'm just making sure it's not Kinnery. Hold on. No. Somebody telling me I need to buy a dress. All right, so that is one. I will get back. And if, just so you know, like there are a lot of these, if you like backgrounds where stencils line up, this is one on sale. This is the Poppy Mix. I wanted to use it today, but I ran out of time. And the stencils colored in, and look at that beautiful background. It has a different feel to it, which I really, really like. Okay. Another one that I was hoping to use today but ran out of time. This is the Quadrant Background Hot Foil Plate, which I'm going to show you in a moment how you can use these plates without a foil machine. And then there's a die that cuts out all that piece into one big one. And then stencils, so you get this cool background like that. I love that, because something like that, all you have to do is add a sentiment and you're good to go. So this one is the Quadrant Backdrop. I wanted to use both of those, but I didn't get a chance. There are a lot that are on sale here. A lot. Let me see, were there some more examples? Oh, yeah. Oh, a bunch. Okay, hang on. Let's move on to, oh, there is one more thing. Before I move on, no, I'll do that at the end. Yeah, things are gonna, yeah, squirrel, definitely. Things will sell out. I'm sorry. It's just what happens. But Pinkfresh usually does have a good amount in stock of things, so hopefully you can catch what you want. Yes, stencils are great for making custom paper. Okay, so this is, I have one last thing, and this one won't take very long, but I want to show you how to get a different look from it, because I have used this in a video before. This is the Geo Arch. This is a hot foil plate. Brianne said her dog just came. I came over when I whistled. That's funny. Good doggy. Give him a treat. This has a hot foil plate, and then there's stencils. The stencils can be used without the hot foil plate, vice versa, okay? Now, I know a lot of people don't have a foil machine, but you can use foil plates without a foil machine, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. But before I do that, I want to show you some of the cards I made in a video in the past, which is linked below in my YouTube description, using the Geo Arch, because I made a bunch. Can you start showing those? There's a bunch of them. They were the first ones I sent you. They all use the Geo Arch. Mike's going to show some here. There's one. That one has a floating heart in the center of it. It's hard to tell there, but I offset some of the stencils so I had overlapped inking, which I think is really fun to do to change things up. So that is one using this Geo Arch. There's another one. That one I just hot foiled with gold foil, and then I colored with different colors of pink ink. And I did a bunch of these because I love this background. They're all very similar. Here you can see I did a window in the front of the panel. Again, this link is for this video is in the description below. There's another one. I went overboard with this. There's another one, blues and greens, and then I added some gems to the pattern. Is that it? Yeah. That is it. Okay, so there are some examples, and that's below. But all those show how I use this with the foil machine. So with the glimmer machine, you can foil this beautifully, right? I want to show you how you can use it without and make a really cool card. So I'm going to take a piece of heavyweight white cardstock. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, 110 pound. You could also use watercolor paper for this because that's so heavyweight and it'll take the impression nicely.
Does the person from Pinkfresh have your text number he's on?
No.
Okay.
Why? What's wrong?
I can't find the stencil on their site.
It was there. It might have sold out. Okay, so this is white cardstock, and I'm going to spray both sides with water. Pretty good amount of water. You can hear all my spritzes. 5 or 6 times on each side. It's pretty wet. You can see it starting to kind of warp a little bit. That's okay. I have set up my die cut machine to make an impression with a die. I've done this many times in videos. This is a technique that you can do with background dies, hot foil plates, or press plates. You just need this flexible embossing mat. My Spellbinders machine comes with it. Most machines come with one or have one available to buy. Essential tool in getting more out of your supplies. So you could do this with a cover plate, a press plate, or a foil plate. So I have my kind of wet white cardstock and I'm putting it onto that flexible mat. I'm putting my foil plate down on it, nothing on the foil plate. You could put ink on it if you wanted to, but I'm leaving mine as is. And I'm running it through following the sandwich that the die cut machine recommends for making an impression or dry embossing with a die. And what happens is this pushes into that cardstock and it'll leave a deep impression. And look at this. Look at that. Look at that. So this foil plate's on sale. So even if you don't have a foil machine, I think it's worth it for that background. Isn't that gorgeous? You could use either side. So now let's talk a little bit about this. So you could flip it over and on this raised area, you could use a brayer and an ink pad. I can show that real quick because I'm not going to use that side. Hold on, let me put stuff away. Oh, my medicine's wearing off. Let's see here. Hang on. Okay, let me set this up. So I have my piece here that I made that impression on. I'm going to heat set it because it is wet. Oh yeah, I think Pinkfresh sells the Altenew sticky mat. Yeah, Pinkfresh is a good company. Good company, and I'm excited because I'm teaching for them this weekend. Very excited about that. All right, let me just dry this. So I used that water on it. The water keeps the paper from tearing or cracking as you stretch it. Yes, 110-pound cardstocks are all different. You need to get one with a high GSM. The one that I have linked below is by far my favorite. Let's see here. Uh-oh. The die that you... Okay. All right, Jody just texted me. Here, hold on. It's sold out and won't be restocked. So some of the products, a few of the products will soon be back in stock. You can, so some of the product, I just got a text from Jody. She works with Pinkfresh. Some of the products will be restocked. So you can click notify to get notifications. If it's disappeared, that means that it won't be restocked. Just so you know. Okay, so there are two sides to this. I'm going to flip it over to the back side where the pattern is raised. What you can do is take a brayer. I'm going to find my ink stand. I'm just going to do this real quickly. And just roll over the raised areas and see how it picks up that pattern. And look how cool that is. I just did it in a little area there, right? So there's a lot of things you can do with this. But what I thought would be fun today is to stencil over this. Now, you could take your stencils and line them up with the pattern, right? Which would look really cool. But I thought it'd be fun to change it up a bit and rotate my stencil around. So the stencil is supposed to go on like this and fit that pattern. I'm going to rotate like this so it's upside down and just create a new pattern on top of it. Because why not? This is something that works really well with geometric patterns like this one. Okay? Now I need my ink stand. Where'd it go? Brianna, if I whistle, will your dog bring me my ink stand? Okay, there you go. Use this one. Now I'm not sure what colors I want to use. Let's do pinks. I'm going to do pink. All right, so I'm doing sparkling rose. So if you look, see how the stencil doesn't line up with the pattern? I rotated it. You can see the embossed pattern through there, right? This is going to do something fun. Let me show you. Okay, so this is sparkling rose. I also like Pinkfresh pink colors. They've got great pinks. Sparkling rose, bubblegum, a lot of great pink colors. And I use them a lot in my videos. So I'm using my magic brush, the 1-inch blending brush. You can see how fast it is to apply this ink. Now, there you got the pattern. See the pattern? I'm creating something new, just for fun. You could leave it like that if you wanted to. So instead of lining the stencil up with the embossed pattern, I'm rotating it. So instead of putting it like this, which lines up with the stencil pattern, I'm going to rotate it and line it up to create a new pattern. So I'm doing a pattern on top of a pattern, because why not? So that was Sparkling Rose. This time I'm going to do, ooh, Mimosa. This is a great color. This is more of an orange coral. It has a lot more orange to it. Let's line that up. Let's put that on there. You don't see the cardstock listed. Is the Neenah Classic Crust in there, Mike? I might have taken out of the YouTube description, but it would be on my...
Yeah, it's in the...
If you go to the live link at the top of the YouTube description and click that and open a new page, you'll see thumbnails on that page of all the products. And it will be there. Okay, can you see how the ink doesn't get all the way into those little nooks that we made, the impression that we made with the hot foil plate? So it just really gives a fun look. Is it messing with your brain? Yeah, you could do it the original way if you wanted to, but why not? Okay, so this was supposed to be like this. So I'll rotate it. And you can line these up however. You can overlap. I don't know, do I want to overlap? I don't know. I could, but I'm not. Okay, now this time, what color do I want to do? Let's see here. Let's do, red? No. Let's do a darker pink. Let's do Raspberry Bliss. Raspberry Bliss. All right, so this one will be much more intense. Could have done coral here, but Raspberry Bliss is the darkest in their pink collection. I've mentioned many times in videos that Pinkfresh inks are great because they're kind of jelly bean colors. They're vibrant. Great color families of like light, medium, dark, extra dark, and a lot of alternatives. So there's like a coral that's more coral colored or more red. There's a coral that's more orange colored. So you can mix and match them. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's like pillowy. So you could add more to that if you wanted to. You could put gems into it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have such a mess to come back to. Why do I do this to myself? Yeah, because I have to finish at 6 because I got to go see my daddy tonight. I was working today, so I haven't seen him yet. He'll be asleep, but I can still bug him. That's what daughters are supposed to do. Okay, next, isn't that fun? Jelly bean, yep, they're just happy candy colors. Let's see here. I gotta see what this is called. This is the Slim Ornate Banner die. Pinkfresh in their clearance section has a lot of slimline dies. So slimline is like the longer cards, which were real popular for a while, and some people still make them. But they have a lot of slimline dies on sale, but I use them on regular cards. They're great to like create a wrap on a card or a flap on a card. So I encourage you to look at them because just because a die is long doesn't mean you need to make a long card. And here's an example. I've used these in videos before. This die here, the biggest one, cuts this with the little pierced edge. And you can make like a flap on the front of your card. You just fold it here, like do a score line and fold it there, do a sentiment here, and that's how your card opens and closes, is that flap. Or you can make a shaped card with this. For this one, I was going to do this to make a flap here, but that covered too much of the background, so I decided to use the smaller one. So I have the smaller one here, and I'm going to have it be a flap that opens here. Okay, but I need to add a sentiment first. I gave an update on my dad at the beginning of the video. He's had a rough a rough road. I never really understood strokes before, but man, it's devastating. Sometimes he can talk and we can still bug him, so we're good. And thankfully he is in a assisted living now, very close to us. So we just go over all the time. My mom was very excited because they were able to get him in a wheelchair, and she got to push him outside today, which is just, that was one of the things that we were hoping we could do. So, okay, let's see here. But he's in the place where he is really nice. And the nurses are just superheroes. You always hear me talk about how teachers are superheroes. I'm now on the nurses are superhero track too. Man, they do all the work. They do. They do all the work. All right, so this is from the Floral Border stamp set, same one that I used at the beginning. I just stamped that right onto the flap. There's a piercing detail that's hard to see. Okay, so now I have another one here. And this one I'm going to glue onto the front of my card. I want the flap to be about, hold on, I need to trim. I want to trim this. Trim a little bit off all four sides. Yeah, I'm glad he got to go out too. I'm excited to be able to push him outside. We have nice weather on and off here, so yes, God bless all you nurses, because that is tough. That is tough. I don't know how y'all do it. Okay, so I put adhesive on the back of this, and I want my flap to be right about there. So I'm going to glue that on there. I probably will go back and put liquid adhesive under there just to make sure it holds well, but for now, I'm just going to cut that off. So this would be where I'd write my sentiment, okay? I could stamp another little sentiment on here, but this is where I'll write, "You're a rock star," from Jennifer, whatever. Now this one, I want to line it up. So there's no glue on, I'm just holding it there. And I'll get my, let me get my scoreboard. I'm going to put this is better just to show. I'm going to put my background here. This one's glued on. This flap here is glued down. Put that into the corner. I'm going to take this other flap and just lay it over here. Just hold it there, lining it up with the one that's glued down. And then I'll score right along the edge there. So that I'll have a score line right there along the edge. And I'll fold on that. Yes, nurses are superheroes. That's for sure. Patience. Patience. That's what blows me away, is their patience. Okay, so now I'll put adhesive on my little flap there, and this gets wrapped over the top of my card. So this is how that card will open. So it opens like that. So now this, again, I'll probably do liquid adhesive with this later, because there's texture on this. Whenever there's texture, I like to use liquid adhesive because it gets in the nooks and crannies. Get that glued on there. So this card opens like that. So I would write my personal message right there, and then you can put some gems on there. But look at that pillowy background. Isn't that fun? Gorgeous. Now here's one that I did earlier. So you can see, my flap is sticking up here, but you can see this little flap here, and I stamped "Life is Sweeter Because of You," and I can write my little personal message there. And then I did some little gemstones. So you can see here's a different, I just layered my stencils a little differently with different colors. Isn't that fun? So when you have geometric stencils, try lining them up differently. You don't have to do it just like they say. And if you have a hot foil plate, make an impression. I almost like the impression better than the foiling. All right, so those are pretty quick. So this, I made these flaps with the Slim Ornate banner dies. So that is actually meant for a slimline card, but I used it on a regular card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And again, this one is really nice for a bigger flap, right? But I didn't want to cover all that up. So like if I used, so this one, like say this is my flap. Say this is my base, and there's my flap. I would do just like solid cardstock or simple pattern, and then do like a bunch of florals on here with my sentiment. So I do like a focal point on the flap, and it could open that way. This time my focal point was the background, so I didn't want to cover up too much of it. All right, so that's the Geo Arches. There you go. Okay, so we have a few cards here that we did today, all using things on sale at Pinkfresh. And I have a mess. What's new, right? Okay, there we go. I'm back in the saddle, Mike.
Yes.
Kind of. Okay, so again, there is an exclusive code for an additional 10% off the clearance section at Pinkfresh. So the clearance section's already 50 to 75% off. With my code, you get another 10% off. So be sure to check that out. Some of the products won't be restocked, some will. I think you can tell if it's going to be restocked, it'll say notify me, okay? But there's still lots of stuff, and I did not show all of it. There's a lot more than what I showed. I also wanted to let you know there are a lot of sales going on right now. There are a lot of sales. Like Altenew has some grab bags available. Simon Says Stamp has a discount, like 20% off their inks. If you're looking for any of those sales, I did put a sales newsletter together today. If you go to my website and click Crafty Sales, I think it says Crafty Sales, you'll be able to find all those. Do you mind putting that link in the chat?
Already had you.
Mike's going to put it in the chat. There's a lot of great sales right now. I think this is a great way to help these companies too, because sometimes clearing out some stock allows them to handle some of these other issues with a little more, a little easier. Let's see what else. Oh, another thing. Can you put up the Altenew thing?
Yeah.
Oh, my throat. Altenew just opened signups for their Cozy Comfort Retreat. That is in September. And you can see there's a bunch of teachers there that y'all know and love. Megan, Laura, Kelly, Jen, Kathy, Carissa, and then myself. We are teaching the Cozy Comfort Retreat in September. And right now you can get the early bird savings, just open today. So you can find information for that in my YouTube description below. I always love their products. I think they do great in their with their events. So you can find more information in the link below. Wanted to let you know about that. Yay, Leanne signed up. Good, good. They usually will end up sharing some peeks of the supplies, but I also have noticed that in their marketing material for their events, you can see like some images in the background. Those are usually images from the class. But last time they did a video kind of showing what was in it. So hopefully that will come up soon. I don't think it's up yet because it just opened today. But you can always wait. The hard part about waiting is that there's an early bird discount code right now. All right, good, good. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I have no idea when I'm going live next. Maybe Tuesday? Maybe Monday? I'll let you know. I know I have, I know there's a few fun new releases coming up, and I don't know, I just have some other things that I've been wanting to do. Ken is doing good. Ken is taking Lila to a birthday party right now. He's at the golf course all the time. It's spring. He can do that. Let's see. The code is J McGuire. It's in the top of the YouTube description. Let's see. That's funny. All right. I think that's it. Okay. If you are looking for anything, again, it's all in the YouTube description. Brianne, thank you for your help with helping everybody here, and Kathleen over at Pinkfresh. And I will hopefully see you again for another live next week. Take care.